The NBA is absolutely horrified of what's going on in Toronto right now. As everyone knows, the Raptors have been rolling as of late, but there have been a couple of developments, a couple of things happening in the Raptors' last few games, which really has the entire NBA shook. As there were some concerns, there were some question marks about this roster, about this team coming into this season. No one really questioned the talent, the level of the players out there on this roster, but there were different questions that people were raising about this roster, and a couple of things that the Raptors have overcome in the past few games really have silenced all of the doubters. And even though the level of competition hasn't been the top of the top, the upper echelon in the NBA, the developments that we've seen in the last couple of games are the things that really should have Raptors fans very, very fired up, even more than the win streak we've had. That's right, Darko Rajaković has been promising pizza parties for when the Toronto Raptors get a 3-game win streak. How about a 5-game win streak? How about the Raptors winning 9 of their last 10 games? That's right, the Toronto Raptors right now, if we take a look at what's going on, they just beat the Philadelphia 76ers 121-112, but the real juicy part of this now at this point is the Raptors are 10-5 out there in this season. The number 2 seed out there in the Eastern Conference, 9-1 in their last 10 games, and really just have been on an absolute roll. As you see, just lots of W's in that win column. The only loss coming without Jakob against this Philadelphia 76ers team that didn't have Joel Embiid, no Paul George in this game, but they've been a fairly strong roster out there without Embiid and Paul George this entire season. So this is still a very, very big win for Toronto. So what's going on? What's happening here? Ben, why are you so amped up about what we are seeing? Why is the league so horrified? Well, we take a look at this group, and we've talked to death about how Brandon Ingram, late in games, just changes everything for this team, right? 22 points, 5 assists. He did have 4 turnovers, but in 31 minutes, 7 to 10 shooting, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, which is huge because he's been up and down with this three-point shot this season. But Brandon Ingram is a guy right now for this Toronto Raptors team that you look down the stretch, and when you look at this roster, the balance, the floor spacing, will it all work? And specifically when the defenses really tighten up at the end of games, will they be able to execute in the clutch? When your best player is Scottie Barnes, because he's been our best player, will the other guys, and Scottie's not that, his game is so well-rounded. He's not that shot creator. He can create for others, and we've seen it in this game too. He likes to really, when he's forced to get a bucket, when he's trying to will his way to a point, he likes to drive his way through people, the same way Giannis Antetokounmpo does for the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Bucks, they were best down the clutch in these clutch situations when they had a Chris Middleton able to execute, able to do this. And the Raptors have, they won an NBA championship. Some people might disrespect Chris Middleton, but that duo won an NBA championship. And the Raptors have found that guy here right now in Brandon Ingram. As even if he doesn't have the ball down the stretch, other teams have to really just lock in, have to come in and make sure that they get the ball out of his hands down the stretch of games. And the Sixers, they were throwing doubles at him left, right, and center. And, in this one, we saw him end up the game with 5 assists. There were a lot of hockey assists. He was drawing the double team. The ball would get swung around the court, and it allows the Toronto Raptors to execute on another level. And he's been a willing passer. That was a question we all had about Brandon Ingram. Yes, his assist numbers were high, but would he really be giving up the basketball down the stretch? And in tonight's game, he threw a cross-court pass to RJ Barrett, who got the open slam and really sealed the deal. It was the dagger in this one. Brandon Ingram was getting double teams on that left wing and making beautiful, just smart passes, not trying to do anything too much, right out to the Immanuel Quickley, the Jakob in the mid-post, and was just executing very, very well. And that's exactly what you're looking for, and it keeps giving me these flashes. The Chris Middleton, the Giannis duo that won an NBA championship, Scottie Barnes and Brandon Ingram out there on those wings, man. That is, it's giving me down in clutch time offense, the stuff that you can execute, similar stuff to that 2021 squad. So lots of exciting things there. Speaking of Scottie Barnes, he was awesome in this game as well. 8 of 17 shooting from the field. Didn't knock down his threes in this game, but still had 9 rebounds, had 5 assists. A few turnovers, went a little bit aggressive there, but the box score doesn't indicate the impact that he had out there on this game. That's the reality of what's going on. He was attacking the rim, was trying to get some paint touches, and trying to create for some other people, and was a plus 14 for the game. And, coming into this, I in the video to see the box score, I felt the impact of Scottie Barnes out there in this one, which was a huge positive. And then down the stretch, down the clutch, because Nick Nurse, how he plays how he schemes and he uses weird structures and systems and stuff. You need your other guys to step up when you're going up against a creative defense that Nick Nurse can run. And Immanuel Quickley, man, I was critical of him at the start of the season. I'm going to be open. I'm going to be candid about it. But this dude has just been on another level when it's mattered most for this Raptors team so far this season. In the clutch, he hit so many timely threes, which was just huge for this team. And it ended up leading to, for him specifically, 18 points, 4 of 9 from the three-point line, 6 assists, 3 steals, timely steals as well over the course of this game. Really momentum-swinging defensive plays, but he was awesome out there on the offensive end of the floor taking these long shot threes. And then RJ Barrett as well, because he's had an up-and-down sort of season so far. As of late, struggling a little bit, and tonight, the Sixers were really playing effective defense. I mean, guys like VJ Edgecombe and, the Jabari Walker, they were having a lot of guys just in people's grills, playing intense, playing some aggressive basketball. And RJ Barrett took a few bumps, took a few hits, and ended up coming out with a really good game. 22 points in this game, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a grinded out game, especially for the RJ Barretts of the world out there on this team. And it was just an awesome sight to watch. So that was great. Jakob Poeltl hit a lot of timely threes for this team as well. Got some extended run in this, or got some early run for the Toronto Raptors in this one, which is huge. And then, you get Sandro Mamukelashvili being very impactful off the bench for this group. Jamal Shed, not his best game. It's the Shed heads. This is a game we can kind of cover our eyes and say, hey, it is what it is. But I like the level of defense he was playing. He was playing very aggressive D out there on Tyrese Maxey. So not disappointed in Shed. Still had 6 assists in this one. Let's be real. Jamal Shed still facilitating, making good decisions, and running this offense well. So that was great. And one thing about Jamal Shed as well. I'm gassing up Jamal Shed. Here. The Raptors, the fourth quarter, need a couple buckets. And there was a possession. The ball went up the court. I'm not sure who was driving the lane. I think it was Scottie. Kicked it out to Jamal Shed, who had that open above the break 3. Jamal Shed was having an off game. 0-3 from the field. Wasn't really cooking. The high IQ of Jamal Shed, the unselfishness of Jamal Shed, swings it over to RJ Barrett, and he knocks down the transition 3. I was more open, a better look, and it was just a great read, because it's a shot that I feel like, especially in the midst of transition, a lot of people would just be like, oh, I got to shoot this open 3. I got to shoot this open shot. And Jamal Shed just had the wherewithal to give it to RJ Barrett and let it fly from the three-point line. So, great stuff for Jamal Shed. Great stuff from this entire team, man. Like, the Raptors, if we're taking a look at this one, right, they were more efficient out there from the field. They did their well. You play against Andre Drummond, you're going to lose the rebounding battle. That is what it is. They got the best of him out there when he was on defense at times. They didn't turn over the basketball too much. It was great to see. And the Sixers, they went on their runs. But in the second half, the Raptors had this game well within, arm's length the entire way. So that was great to see. And one thing I did find interesting, look at the shot chart, man. Look at this Nick Nurse style of basketball. 0 mid-range shots out there for this team. I know Joel Embiid's there. Hey, they got a couple around the key, but I found that really interesting to see where people are shooting from out there in the NBA right now. But it's, the Raptors, they are an absolute wagon here now at this point. The schedule's getting easier. It's only getting easier. The Raptors have gone through a bunch of their road games, which is huge. You face the Wizards here on Friday in an NBA Cup game, so that'll be a fun one to watch. You face the Nets again, who have been tanking. The Cavs will be another fun one next Monday, which, they're right now neck and neck out there in the standings, tied top of the Eastern Conference, so that'll be a fun one. Hopefully the Cavs guys are healthy, so we can see a really, really fun battle of that game. But you face the Pacers again, who are struggling, the Hornets again, who are struggling, and then the schedule picks up, starting December. The Knicks also without OG and Brunson and stuff. So the Raptors take advantage of this lighter schedule out there in November, really create some separation amongst the other teams out there in the Eastern Conference, and then you are going to be in very, very good shape moving forward over the course of this season. But folks, you guys are the best thing as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. We're so close to 40,000 subscribers. It means the world if you guys hit that sub button. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.